What's up, party people? Welcome to episode 23 of the Agents of Rage. I'm Ren, and joining me as always is my partner in crime, TD. Now, this week, we're dialing in something special, our top 5 most anticipated bands for day 2 of the Hell's Heroes Festival coming up in March in Houston, Texas. We have handpicked tracks from all of our top bands, so it's going to be a wild ride. How you doing, TD?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'll tell you what, you've got rain, I believe, and we've got snow. A lot. So we're both dealing with it, just different precipitations. TD, of course, in the San Francisco area. I'm in Detroit. So a stark contrast when it comes to geographic locations.
Yeah, big time. And we had a couple little earthquakes today, too. One of them was a good one. I was at my standing desk and started rocking, and then the mirrors you see over my right shoulder were rocking too. So it was kind of cool.
Those things come crashing down. It will be a bloody mess.
It will be.
Oh my gosh.
No,
all right. Well, before we start, when TD and I have the same band in our top 5, right? We'll be sharing snippets from a couple of songs that we dig. Now, if a band is just in one of our top 5s, we will just play a snippet from one. So first, let's bring up the list of our top 5 most anticipated bands for day 2 of Hell's Heroes. And so there you have it, our top 5 from each of us. You'll notice that it does vary here and there. We do have some commonalities, and what that just means for you is you're just going to get more music today. So that's, I think, the most important part. So, TD, shall we open the vault and get into it? You ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
All right, here we go. All right, so let's begin with TD's top 5, and we'll start with the legendary Crimson Glory, headlining day 2 of Hell's Heroes 2025, hailing from Sarasota, Florida. Crimson Glory emerged in the early 80s, blending progressive elements with traditional heavy metal, carving their pace in the power metal genre. So we're about to get in some power metal, y'all, so prepare for that. They were inspired by the likes of Judas Priest and Queensryche. Their sound is a dynamic mix of soaring vocals and intricate guitar work, often compared to bands like Fate's Warning and Helloween. So if you know those bands, their 1988 album Transcendence is hailed as a metal masterpiece by many in the community. Known for their theatrical silver master and live shows, Crimson Glory adds a unique mystique. So expect an electrifying set list at Hell's Heroes, packed with classics like Lonely and Red Sharks. I do not have them in my top 5, as power metal just is not my usual taste. However, I am opening up my interest, which makes this festival so unique. So TD, what makes Crimson Glory your most anticipated band for day 2?
I like that sound. I mean, it's not my go-to either, but their particular sound I like. And I've never seen them live. And that's maybe the only time I get to see them live, so I'm looking forward to checking them out.
Yeah, they're legends. They really are in that sphere. If you're into that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So with that said, TD has selected the song Queen of the Masquerade by Crimson Glory. This is a haunting anthem that comes from their self-titled debut album. They released that in 1986. So get ready for a journey into melodic power metal perfection.
Do it.
I'm like
a Mike Howe Metal Church kind of voice.
Right. There's
And
going to be a metal church reference in this show just a little bit later.
Nice.
Because, I think a lot of the bands that have that certain style absolutely have bands like Metal Church that gave them that kind of confidence to be able to go there,
Yeah.
So, all
I
right.
agree.
Well, that's Crimson Glory. All right, let's continue our countdown of TD's most anticipated songs from day 2 of the Hell's Heroes Festival. Let's talk about the legendary speed metal pioneers, Exciter. Not in my top 5, but they have a lot of fans. Hailing from Ottawa, Canada, they burst onto the scene in 1978.
Wow.
Man, that's a long time ago. Helping to define the speed and thrash metal genres with blistering riffs and raw energy. They're influenced by Judas Priest and Motorhead. Exciter's sound is adrenaline, and they are often compared to Razor and Anvil. So that fit. That tracks if you're fans of them. Their 1983 album Heavy Metal Maniac is a cornerstone of speed metal, satisfying their place in metal history. Known for their relentless live energy, they are been rumored to be playing favorites like Violence and Force and Pounding Metal at Hell's Heroes. So TD, Exciter has been on the scene for decades. How excited are you?
I don't think I've seen them before. I don't know how.
I know I haven't.
So I'm looking forward to it, but I was thinking 1983. Gosh, man, what was I doing in 1983?
I was 13 years old, man. I'm dating myself, but
I was too.
I was getting into metal really at that point.
Yeah, same here. That was
kind of a seminal year.
That was the kind of the. I remember I lived in Pensacola, Florida, and the new wave of British heavy metal was the thing in 1983.
That also will have a reference in this show later on. So
and folks, I didn't set this. This isn't a setup. I just guessed.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, just real quick, your shirt.
Hot. It's too much.
It's overexposed, but there it is.
Yeah.
And yes, they too will be referenced later in the show. That is a promise. All of these are promises. You can check me on it, but it's true. And I'm wearing Creeping Death. Now, I wanted to stick with the kind of purgatory theme that we've got going here. And that also, they're a death metal band from Texas. We're going to Houston, Texas to see Hell's Heroes. So there's a tie.
Yeah.
All right. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we've talked about Exciter. Now let's get ready to bang your head. All right. With Exciter's Stand Up and Fight, a high-octane anthem from their iconic 1984 album Violence and Force, which we just previously referenced. This track is pure speed metal fury. Am I right?
You were right.
All right, so let's get into it.
That was definite Metal Massacre sound. When I hear that sound,
100%.
I picture the whole. I listen to it's like Metal Massacre 1 comes back to me. You know.
That's it, dude. That's exactly it, man. It's crazy. You know, again, for those, and this is why we're trying to expand, you know, our absorption of this stuff and why we chose Hell's Heroes, because in general, we would never get this collection of bands together, you know, at some festival, except something we put together ourselves.
Yeah, right.
Right? I
Yeah.
mean, so whether you're and the best thing about all of it, and this is what we try to pound into your mind, and so that you understand, is that seeing a band live sometimes makes all the difference.
It does.
You know what I
100%.
mean? All of a sudden you'll hear some produced album, whatever, but then you hear it live. And I'm going to bring this back up later in the show when I talk about one of the bands that is on my list. When you see them live, it's like, that's what I'm talking about. It's definitely more raw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's funny because it just hits differently. And I remember during COVID when you couldn't go to concerts, so bands would do they would do virtual concerts.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't. It's
No,
not the same.
I hated
You can't
that.
replicate that experience.
I hated it.
It was totally. It just didn't work. There's
Right.
nothing like being there and the energy.
Right.
The vibe.
Machine Head did a ton of those, and I did go to one, and it was just not for me, man.
What you went to one
It's
in
not.
the living
They were
room?
having a party that I couldn't be at.
Right. Totally, man.
You know what I mean? It's like, forget about it. You know.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So that was Exciter, and we're excited. All right, let's get to some more. Also on day 2 of the Hell's Heroes 2025, it's the ferocious thrash metal titans Onslaught. Now, this is a band that we featured in our album spotlight, although it was later work on episode 7, so you can go back and check that out. They hail from Bristol, England. This band exploded onto the scene in the early 80s. That theme runs throughout Hell's Heroes. Initially rooted in hardcore punk before evolving into one of thrash metal's fiercest acts. Inspired by Slayer and Venom, they bring blistering speed and aggression reminiscent of Exodus and Creator. Now, their 1986 album, The Force, which I was listening to on the way over here, and again, Let There Be Death on is just some really, really fast, heavy-ass metal. Anyway, so go check that out because we're not showing it here. But that album is a genre-defining classic packed with unrelenting riffs and raw power. Onslaught is set to deliver a career-spanning set list when we see them. However, they are rumored to include anthems like the entire album of Power from Hell and also selections from Let There Be Death. Now, for both of us, this is a top 5 must-see, both on our anticipated list, no doubt about it. So let's get to the music, TD, and then we'll talk about them, all right? Let's dive into the raw chaos of Onslaught with 2 classics from their debut album, Power from Hell, released in 1985. First, Lord of Evil, a menacing track that showcases the early blend of punk and thrash. I think you'll hear it in there. Then the title track, Onslaught, Power from Hell, an all-out assault of aggression and speed that helped define a lot of the underground thrash metal, maybe the stuff you weren't hearing. This album is a milestone in extreme metal history. So let's go.
Take it away.
The Lord of Evil, he rides again. The Lord of Evil, you shall praise him or die.
Man, good stuff. That reminds me, their sound is similar to the Creator and Destruction sound from that same era. And I'm looking forward to them. Never seen them before, and this is another band that, who knows how many times they're gonna, come back to the U.S.
100%. And I'll tell you what, I hope that some people like seriously are inspired by watching this and are like, dude, that is incredible. I need to go to that fest. You know what I mean? Because you're just going to get a little bit of everything. And we've got a lot more to go. And we've got a little bit of everything. So hope you guys are enjoying the show. One of each of our top 5 most anticipated bands at Hell's Heroes 2025 is the cult legends Nasty Savage. That's right. Hailing from Brandon, Florida, this band burst on the scene again in the early 80s, blending traditional heavy metal with an aggressive edge that predated death metal's rise. Influenced by the theatricality of Alice Cooper and the heaviness of Black Sabbath, they're often compared to early Sabotage and Metal Church.
There you go.
So there's the reference. Their 1987 album Indulgence is considered a pinnacle of their career, showcasing technical riffs and over-the-top vocals. Known for their chaotic live shows, expect a set list packed with fan favorites like Dungeon of Pleasure and Metal Nights. TD, what do you like about Nasty Savage?
I like the name.
Yeah.
The music's good too. Again, another band I've never seen.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot at this festival I've never seen.
I know, man. It's wild. And even though everybody's older and whatever, just to hear the music again on the stage, being performed in a live setting, obviously, for the most part, they're all better musicians, than they were back then. So technically, it might sound the best it ever has.
Well, we're gonna see a lot of skullets, I think.
You're absolutely right. All right, let's dive into 2 killer tracks from Nasty Savage. First up, Fear Beyond the Vision from their 1987 album Indulgence, which we referenced, a landmark of technical and theatrical heavy metal. Then XXX from their 1985 self-titled debut, an album that helped cement their cult status with its raw energy and chaotic edge. Both albums showcase the band's evolution from raw aggression to intricate craftsmanship. You ready for Nasty Savage? We certainly have built it up.
Let it roll.
All right.
Climbing up the mountain in the presence of anger, pain, and hunger. The trick is never done. I'm a fool, this time and place. I'm a fool, this human race. I've been watching for this time. My level is no garage. Eyes perceive the sigil shown upon my chest. A penance bearing a reaper, reject the Vulcan's quest. Beyond the vision. Beyond the vision. XXX in her pants.
Dude, that's classic. I can't wait to hear them live.
Totally. That's wild stuff, man. Yeah, I'm dying to hear them hit those notes. Yeah, and while we were watching that, we don't, we play the full version of the song, but we're commenting. So maybe sometime we'll release the clips of us commenting to these albums, because we are recording that too. But you said that, yeah, there was definitely a King Diamond part in that.
Totally.
Maybe he'll come out on stage and sing it. That would be awesome.
We're gonna find out.
Well, yeah, we will find out. There might be some surprises. All right, next up on day 2 of Hell's Heroes 2025 is the epic force of Omen. The final band in TD's top 5 formed in Los Angeles, California in 1983. Omen became a cornerstone of U.S. power metal. Going back to the power metal here, blending traditional heavy metal with a darker, more mystical edge. Now, they were inspired by Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, the classics. Their sound also resonates with fans of bands like Manila Road and Cirith Ungol. I know them. Their 1984 debut album, Battle Cry, remains their crowning achievement, featuring vocals and galloping riffs that define the genre. Now, Omen's set list is rumored to include iconic tracks like Death Rider and The Axeman. So if you know them, you probably know those songs. Promising a night of true metal glory. TD, they did not make my top 5, but you are ready for Omen. Tell us why.
It goes back to the logo. I worked at a record store in high school, and I can just always remember seeing that logo, and it just takes me back like the Nasty Savage does,
Right.
back in the day. And again, another band I've never seen and may never see again. So, and it's funny, power metal is not my first choice. It just
Right.
happened to be, this time around.
Yeah, they're great. Again, being live, it's a little different on the power metal side. It's a little more raw. It's not quite as up and down because they can't sustain that, for a show. And they're old. You know what I mean? Let's face it. They're all like us.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm looking forward to them. Just didn't make my top 5. All right, let's check out a little bit from Omen's hard-hitting track, Kill on Sight, from their fierce 1986 album, Warning of Danger, classic U.S. power metal at its finest.
Good stuff. I like it. The wolf coming out of the snake's head.
Yeah, and I don't remember what they just said, but like any song that has like metal music that we must protect, or whatever they said, That always cracks me up.
80s lyrics.
Yeah, that always cracks me up. They tried to go so medieval, so often, and whatever, man. It was it's a sign of the times. And again, you had to be there, but you should be able to find an appreciation for it, because I tell you what, the musicianship of a lot of those bands is really flawless and probably will blow you away. Regardless if you like the vocals or not, I feel the same way sometimes when it's like, it's just like they're burping into the mic for, 5 minutes. I don't prefer to listen to that, but sometimes the musicians are so good. The songs, the rhythm is so incredible that I put up with it.
Yeah, I agree. Yngwie Malmsteen's a good example. He's such a great guitarist that the vocals are almost secondary, where in most bands they're first.
Right. That's exactly right. All right. We shift now to the bands on my most anticipated for Day 2 of Hell's Heroes 2025, and my number one is the legendary Cavalera. For those of you who don't know, they hail from Brazil. The band was formed by Max and Igor Cavalera. Originally known for their groundbreaking work in Sepultura, after leaving the band, the brothers formed Cavalera Conspiracy, which blends thrash, death, and groove metal to create a signature heavy as hell sound. Right? Now, Cavalera Conspiracy's notable contribution is their reimagining of Sepultura's first 3 albums: Morbid Visions from 1986, Schizophrenia from 1987, and Beneath the Remains from 1989. These albums were seminal in shaping the Brazilian metal scene and early thrash and death metal. After years of separation, the Cavalera brothers reunited these iconic and reimagined and revitalized these iconic records, re-recording them with a modern, new energy that combined their original vision with their evolved musical styles. That's what we're going to play here, so that's why I'm setting it up that way. The re-recorded albums were part of a series of live performances and recordings designed to honor the legacy of the early Sepultura era, and that's what we are going to get at Hell's Heroes, people.
Yep.
We are going to be immersed in this music for quite a long time. I love these recordings, and going to give you a taste from the Schizophrenia album re-recording. This song is called Escape to the Void.
I like how they put Sepultura cover on there.
I put that on there.
Oh, you did!
Those are my lower thirds. I create those.
Oh,
The
gosh.
titles of the-
Okay,
I just grabbed
that's
the
pretty
album
funny,
cover and
'cause,
put it as the background.
Yeah, hey, because I was like, that's kind of a cool thing to do.
Thank you. Thank you. I work hard on that. It takes me a while.
Yeah.
Trust me.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
all
like
right,
the
good.
artwork and the song.
Yeah, for sure, man. They're going to be great. They're always great. They never disappoint. And when you can hear they're going to play music again from the first 3 albums. So that is just,
Yeah.
the recordings of the albums were not done well. They're low, like a lot of
Yeah.
metal, like Anthrax early stuff. It's recorded low and
Yeah.
all that. So I'm always a fan of remastering, re-recording, whatever you want to do with these songs. And obviously, I think that Max and Igor love this band they have, and they think the music is tighter than ever, and they've even sped it up, in certain cases. His voice sounds great. They're like, let's re-record and let's go out and play this music.
Yeah.
Because people want to hear it.
No, I think it's going to be great.
I mean, guys, come to Hell's Heroes
Look for us.
with us. Come on, join us.
Join us. It'll be
We'll
fun.
have a blast. I'm serious. Anyway. All right. Onslaught and Nasty Savage are my number 2 and 3 most anticipated bands on day 2, and we already talked about them. My 4th on day 2 of Hell's Heroes 2025 is the thrash powerhouse Gamaside. Now, Gamaside hails from Texas, so it'll be a homecoming for them. This band came to life in 1985, bringing a raw, aggressive style of thrash that was influenced by acts like Slayer, Exodus, and Metallica. Their sound blends relentless speed and sharp, heavy riffs, making them a perfect fit for fans of early American thrash. That is exactly what they are, and you will hear that in just a moment. Gamaside's 1989 album, Victims of Science, which you will hear a track from, is considered their crowning achievement with brutal tracks like Greed and Corruption and Acid Rain. You won't hear those songs. Showering their uncompromising thrash attack. Now, although they never really, TD, reached massive mainstream popularity at all during the 80s, their cult status in the thrash scene is undeniable. Rumor has it their Hell's Heroes set list will feature classics like Obnoxious and Chainsaw Executions. I love that. So this will be a reunion show. As far as I can find, their last show, regular show in 1988, they then reformed to play one show in Fort Worth, Texas on Valentine's Day in 1998. I don't think they've done a show since that night, and it was just one show.
Yeah.
So really, they haven't been together since 88. Long time.
Wow.
My senior year of high school. I've already dated myself, so I'll just keep throwing it out. So that is pretty amazing. So the band broke up. Members were in other bands. They're coming together. Here's a snippet from the title track, Victims of Science, from Gamaside's 1989 album of the same name.
Got a DRI kind of sound.
Who we will be seeing at Hell's Heroes Festival.
Coincidentally enough, another band I haven't
On
seen.
day 1, we'll be seeing DRI. And then get that on day 2. Who knows? Maybe DRI will jump out on stage. It's a reunion show. They haven't played since forever.
Yeah,
I think there are going to be other bands jumping on the stage.
yeah. I wouldn't doubt.
Dude, come to Hell's Heroes. How much do we have to tell you? March 20th through the 22nd.
And VIP
We'll see.
tickets are running low, I read.
Oh, I bet. I'm surprised they're not sold out.
I am too.
Dude, we got the VIPs.
Mm-hmm.
We don't play.
No, we're all in.
No doubt. No doubt. So you have to be all in if you want to hang with the Agents of Rage. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to try and get some business cards made before the trip so that we have them and just pass them out. Agents of Rage, and just give them the card.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
You know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
bro? He's got our socials on there.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm talking about. It's about marketing, baby. All right. We'll talk about how the channel has been doing at the end of the show, because I have some news and we'll chat into that. So we're getting through this. I hope you guys are having a good time. I'm having a good time. You having a good time?
Yep, always.
All right, man. Let's keep going. We wrap our top 5 most anticipated bands on day 2, at least my list of Hell's Heroes 2025, with the Relentless Sadistic Intent. Hailing from Los Angeles, California, they formed in 1987 and are known for their raw, unrelenting style of death/thrash metal. We hear a lot of that these days, so obviously people listen to what they were putting out there and maybe drew some influence. They drew influence as a band from early Slayer, Morbid Angel, and Possessed. Their sound blends blistering speed with death metal's dark, aggressive tone. Sadistic Intent's 1995 album, Reawakening Horrid Thoughts, is their standout. That's always a terrible thing to do, right? Packed with fierce riffs and guttural vocals. You'll know what I'm saying when it comes, but I like the way this goes together. While they have remained somewhat underground, their influence in the death metal scene is undeniable. Rumors have it that their Hell's Heroes setlist will feature tracks like Invoking the Beast and Reawakening, promising a brutal, unforgiving performance. Sadistic Intent, one of the longest standing death metal acts in all of California.
Wow.
Yeah, so there you go. And they are a prominent Latino metal band.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. So let's get into a track from Sadistic Intent's 1995 album, Reawakening Horrid Thoughts. This track is a savage blend of death and thrash, and it's titled Condemned in Misery.
Good stuff. Love that artwork. I saw them
Yeah.
at the DNA Lounge in San Francisco last year.
Oh, wow.
Got a shirt.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, right on, man. So, yeah, I watched their 2018 performance at that festival in Chicago. What's it called? Like something open air?
Yeah.
Chicago open air, something like
Yeah.
that. Like we've talked about going because some of the lineups are pretty sweet.
We've been to
You know.
Chicago Open Air.
No, I'm sorry, not that though. There's that other one. It's in like, I don't know, like Little Rock, Chicago or something. It's
Oh,
like, you know what I'm talking
it
about?
was like
Anyway,
something called Cave something. Is that it?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
cave
Got it.
in the cave or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show I saw a 2018 performance that they did a set at that show, and it was great.
Nice.
And he's not as guttural live.
Yeah.
It has more of a mix where you can hear it. It's a little more vocals involved.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's really cool. And they play incredible live together. So
Sweet. They're gonna be good.
that's the deal. All right, folks, we're starting to wrap stuff up. So don't think, though, that those are the only bands gracing the stage of Day 2 at Hell's Heroes. A band called Absu, ABSU, is Black Thrash from Texas. Solicitor, bringing their speed metal fury all the way from Australia. Departure Chandler with their heavy metal sound from California. High Spirits delivering traditional metal from Chicago. Haunt with their hard-hitting heavy metal out of California. I think it's called a Sabire or Sabir. Hidden, bringing Spanish heavy metal heat. And rounding it off with Knights and Gallo, delivering epic metal from the UK. All in all, TD, I'd say we're going to have an effing damn good time on Day 2 of the Hell's Heroes
Facts.
Festival.
Facts.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
I know. It's going to be great. Okay, Hell's Heroes Festival, people. I've been saying it. We want you to come. It takes place March 20th through the 22nd with a special pre-party that we will be at on Wednesday. That is March 19th, featuring bands like Riot and Satan. Satan will be there, people. We'll be there. You should too. We have one more preview episode for Day 3 of the festival. Bands like Corner, Goat Whore, Hellripper, John Christ. And if you don't know who that is, he was Danzig's original guitarist. So that's
Not know
interesting. Day 3 will be headlined by Saxon.
Yeah.
Saxon, of course, was the leader of the new wave of British heavy
There you
metal.
go. Yep.
Right? Back in the 70s and 80s. 70s and 80s, people, I'm talking.
Yeah.
A little band named Metallica was influenced by their music, by the way.
Yeah.
So there are 10 other bands playing on Day 3, and we'll get into that in our next episode. TD, how are we doing on Facebook and Instagram?
Instagram up to 225. Facebook almost 2,400. So yeah, moving along.
All right, that is moving along. Now on YouTube, and thanks to the shorts, we had nearly 17,000 views in the last 28 days. Our subscribers have increased by 28 people, which gives us exactly 50 now on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that is a huge leap for us, people, believe me. That is a big wow for us, considering we just threw this thing together.
Yeah.
Now, the Toxic Waltz short is our top video with almost 3,500 views.
Wow. That's cool.
I know. That is very
All
cool.
over the world.
I know. Yeah, because we're getting comments that are in Spanish and stuff.
Yeah.
Which
Hopefully
is
they're
awesome.
positive.
I think they are. In fact, our 3 of our top 5 shorts are from Exodus. So people are digging the Exodus content. Maybe because the singer is switching now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Feeling a little nostalgic.
Yeah.
Carrie King's covers of Raining Blood and Black Magic are the other 2 that are in the middle of the top 5 as far as views. And TD, I am happy to say that 2.2% of our viewership is now female.
Oh wow, we finally got him off the bench and into the game, huh? That's good.
I can't believe it.
Well, we were at 0 at one point, so
We were at 0. We could only go up. So 2.2%, we will take it. Now, as far as the shows go, I am not going to anything actually until Hell's Heroes. What about you?
now Hell's Heroes is what I've got next. I just saw 3 Inches Blood, Toxic Holocaust, Haunt, and Entranced in San Francisco a couple weeks ago, and now I'm saving my energy for Hell's Heroes.
All right. So we'll probably get some video from that, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll feature some of that here on the Agents of Rage. I got a pretty packed schedule after Hell's Heroes, so once that's over, once April hits, I got 3 events going, including AC/DC and Machine Head, and I think Obituary.
Oh,
So
nice.
wild
Good stuff.
stuff, man. Wild stuff. All right. That's it for today's episode of Agents of Rage. Now it's time to send you back into the world. No memory wipe needed. Now, until next time, keep it loud, Ragers. We are out of here.
See ya.